Original.
Hello and welcome to Web Crawlers. This is our mailbag episode where we read your reviews and play your voicemails and read any emails that are applicable. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stettin.
And I'm producer Maria.
Do we have any new reviews?
We do.
You've got one from Australia.
Ooh, let's hear it.
From Shasank. Love the podcast. I've been searching for a good podcast about conspiracies and paranormal, and this is the best one on the planet.
Wow.
It's pretty good, huh?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then you did get a 1 star. You did get a 1 star.
No.
Oh, read that, baby. I love to hear.
This is
it.
The heading is terrible. 1 star. Absolute worst storytelling. Horrid to listen to with terrible jokes, completely irrelevant topic. Very hard to stay on track with the storyline and completely inconsiderate to families and friends related to the people they are talking about. Honestly, have no idea how this is 4.7 stars. This is all capitals. Will not listen again.
Okay.
I think that's all true except for the inconsiderate to friends and family part.
Look.
I mean, jokes are relative.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have our same sense of humor.
It's true.
Yeah,
also, just to let everyone know, we do usually donate a portion of our Patreon proceeds to charities that are applicable to our episodes. So
Yeah, we do.
joke's on you, bud.
Joke's on you. Well, we have an email.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay, this is from Sophia. Hello, Bimbo Queens. I left a review about this, so I'm finally giving you all the full story. I actually have previously told this story to Hollywood crime scene girls where I discovered you, so I felt bad having it read on another pod, but I cannot deprive you of the story any longer. Okay. This first story is about my connection to Rodney Alcala, the infamous dating game killer. I just had my mom call her old babysitter from the 70s because I remember her telling me she somehow knew Rodney Alcala. In 2010, when the police released all of the secret photos from his possible victims, the babysitter identified herself as one of the girls and contacted the FBI. Little did I know the true extent of the relationship. Apparently, they met at a club in Hollywood in 1967. She was 15 or 16. He was about 8 years older. After failed attempts to get her to hang out, finally at some point of seeing him around town, she agreed. He took her on a motorcycle to some vacant house with a pool in the Hollywood Hills and tried to put the moves on her. She wasn't into it. And he started getting aggressive, saying shit like, I could drown you in this fucking pool right now if you don't do this. At some point, he became extremely paranoid, telling her he thought someone was watching them from the bushes next door, and he threw her on his bike and crazily rode off. She jumped off at some point at a stoplight and ran away. As he was screaming at her to get back on, she didn't listen and luckily made it home that night. For some reason, she ended up hanging out with this goddamn psychopath again.
Excuse you?
And she became friendly with his family. What? He had taken her to the Santa Monica Mountains and took pictures of her, which at the time she thought was really romantic.
This is like the perfect description of a girl being like, I can change him.
Yes. At this point, he had already been accused of raping the 8-year-old girl who the babysitter knew and knew her family.
Oh.
He always claimed his innocence. And because he was such a charming, narcissistic son of a bitch, his friends and family believed him. Again, this was the late 60s, early 70s, so everyone was a fucking idiot.
My God.
At another point in time, he actually convinced her into having sex with him. This was already like 2 hours into our phone call, and I had to ask this poor woman in her late 60s, so did you guys ever actually hook up? To which she replied, yeah. He was always trying to bang me, and I still can't believe I'm saying I lost my virginity to a serial killer. Yes, she said bang.
Oh my God.
One thing she said that freaked her out later is when she found out that a lot of his victims had their nipples bitten or almost bitten off. When she had sex with him for the first time, she said he was trying to bite her nipples. She told him to stop and that it hurt her, and he tried to play it off by saying he was being playful. In another instance, she moved out of state, came back to LA and hung out with him. He drove her back to LAX and casually said on the freeway, "You know, if you think about it, anyone in any of these cars could be sitting next to a killer and they would never even know." What?
Oh my God.
One of the last contacts she had with him was when he was on the run. She was already out of California, but had a phone conversation with him and told him to fuck off, that she knew he was a psychopath and a killer. And the next thing she knew, he drove to her house out of state and tried to get her to leave with him. She is convinced he came that day to kill her in her apartment because she told him she had so much intel on him. Anyway, she gave me many sick stories about different victims, girls who went missing in the LA area that are still cold cases. She is always trying to help the FBI, connecting the dots to Rodney. She basically had about 10 years of contact with this lunatic and somehow didn't end up one of his victims. This conversation blew my mind, and there's so much to it, including her being attacked separately in LA by a serial rapist whose case was solved by Steve Hodel, the detective who thinks his father was the Black Dahlia murder. I also have cute little Manson family connection story, but I think I will call it to tell you that one. This email's already way too long. Anyway, love you ladies. Hi, Maria. And yes,
Hi.
I'm sticking to my statement that Allie's voice is least annoying. I will not say whose is most annoying. LOL.
Oh, tell us.
Boing, Sophia. I mean, that leaves me.
That's a crazy
No, that's
story.
mine. That's me.
That's insane.
crazy.
Also, that woman's got a type. Jesus.
Yeah.
2 serial killers? Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah, Wolf
boy.
is right.
Okay, well, time to get into these little voicemails.
The last of the
let's do it.
voicemails. This is the last of the voicemails.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Hey, web crawlers. This is Jordan. I called back in October, on October 12th, and I had this weird thing about October 12th. I was getting on the plane to Denver that day, and I found a pentagram carved into my windowsill, and everything was just weird. But I had mentioned something about bats being in my apartment on that day, and one of you was like, bats! But yeah, there's always bats in here.
Always.
And right before, I think, either or after, I don't know, whatever, one of your callers called in and said that bats were like maybe a harbinger of death. And I think that maybe they're more like a protector of the dead. A friend of mine tragically died over the summer falling down the stairs. And when I was at her funeral, I saw a bat, but it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I thought that was really weird. But I was sitting here in my apartment in the middle of the night while I was sleeping. And I woke up just after midnight and I heard a very faint flapping. So I turned the light on. There's a bat circling over my bed. It's happened a few times in here, but I was listening to the Alarmist podcast when that happened, and it was the episode about the Tenerife airplane disaster. So Rebecca said something like the plane, which is coming down the runway, while I was taking a video of the bat flying overhead. And the bat is so fast that I edited the video down to 1 second so I could get the 1 second that the bat was actually in the video. But the audio clip during that 1 second was Rebecca saying, "Which is coming?" But she was talking about the plane, which is coming down the runway. But the app that I used to edit the video down, like, looped it. So while this bat is circling my head, there's this audio clip playing, "Which is coming? Which is coming? Which is coming?" And I tried to cue it up so I could play it on here, but it won't play while my call is going. But anyway, I thought that was really weird. And also, as soon as I got on that plane on October 12th, I checked my podcast to see if anything new dropped right before I had to turn on the do not disturb or airplane mode. And the Ologies podcast dropped an episode about bats, like right before. So I listened to that, and it was just really weird. And then I listened to this daily podcast that has a different Tori Amos song every day, and like that same day, the song that they picked was bats.
Come
It's also a
on.
bizarre coincidence. I sort of believe in synchronicity, but I also believe synchronicity is just a coincidence. Like, there's trillions of things happening around us all the time. And of course, the ones that are weird are going to stand out to us because they're just weird. But I mean, it's likely that bizarre coincidences happen all the time. I don't know. Anyway, I had also asked why We say la 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 at the end, and I love it. So I just want to say also that I love Maria because she gets distracted by birds. And there was another episode where there was a wasp outside the window, and she was like, I love this little light hanging down. Anyway, I really connect with that. I love you, Maria.
Thank
Part
you.
2. I love Maria because she gets distracted by birds.
Hey, Webcrawlers. Oh, I didn't want to have to leave 2 messages. I was trying to talk really fast. I was almost done. I love you, Maria. I love you, Allie and Melissa. I love you all. And I feel like kind of a creep because I feel like I know you, but you have no idea who I am. Anyway, yeah, la la la. So la la la.
Wow. Wow.
That's crazy. A lot of bats.
I do find it crazy that he's like, yeah, occasionally bats will fly in my room when I'm sleeping. It's just a thing that happens. No, that's not a thing that happens. There's a hole in your house somewhere.
I think they're so
that bats.
cute. Yeah, there's a
know
hole in your house. Yeah.
That's so cute. Something, you got to get that fixed. Okay.
Some
next
breeds
message.
of bats are cuter than others.
Yeah.
Hello, web crawlers.
Hi.
So I just heard a message of someone saying it was an individual with a disability saying that people with disabilities preferred being called disabled people. And I'm just very confused because I've worked with people with disabilities before, and they've always said that they don't like it when people call them disabled people because they're equating who they are as a person to just the condition.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to hear more insight about that, and I want to hear more comments. And I feel like you guys discussed this before on the podcast because someone else had called in some time ago explaining how they felt about that. But yeah, I just think it's weird to call someone with autism autistic person because I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Like they're a person with autism. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm saying. Bye.
Yeah,
That was my impression too, because I had thought that they didn't want that. Instead of making it a defining quality, or it seems like your only quality, it's something that you have, not who you are.
right.
Was what I thought the phrasing was. But the woman who called in last week, maybe different people prefer different things. I don't know.
Different people want to be called different things.
Different strokes for different folks.
Different strokes for different folks. There you have it.
Yeah. But for example, I would prefer to be a person with epilepsy than an epileptic person.
Right.
Like, if someone was like, you're an epileptic person, I'd be like,
You'd be
okay,
like,
that
I
seems like
guess.
it's my only defining feature. Like there's nothing more. Like it feels like I'm leading with
Right.
my disability rather than being a person first, and then that's something that comes additionally in the package. I don't know. That's just
That
my
makes
preference.
sense.
But again, yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking about for myself how I would prefer it. Anyways,
Yeah, and I'm not a depressed person. I'm a person with depression.
yeah. You're not a dumb bitch. You're a person with dumb bitch tendencies.
Yes. Thank you. Next message.
Hi, this is for the web crawlers. I'm just calling because I heard the most recent mailbag episode, and I know that Allie asked the other person who I imagine probably also has autism to just email about why person first language is generally not accepted. But I thought it might be important to go ahead and put it on one of the other mailbag episodes. I know there might not be any like definitive sources, but I know in a lot of my community groups, support groups, things like that, everyone talks about how using person first language was chosen by people who were autistic for the most part, and it's supposed to be kind of an empowering thing. But what it does is it separates autism from who we are, and that's not how our brains work, if that makes sense. I know it's true for a lot of the other neurodivergent groups. My husband has ADHD, and it's not like he's a person with ADHD. He is an ADHD person because there's no point in which he can like separate himself from that disability, if that makes sense. And I know the person on the phone and everyone else talked about how people with disabilities or disabled people and autistic people, but technically autism is a disability as well. So I know it's all a spiraling, slippery slope. But I just wanted to say that person-first language can appear hurtful because it makes it seem like we can overcome our autism instead of just being like we are an autistic person, and it's not something that we can separate from ourselves because it is who we are. Anyways, I hope you guys all have a great day, and oh God, I ran out of steam now. But anyways, I love the podcast, and I know nobody meant anything weird, but I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this. All right, thanks. Bye.
That's interesting, too.
I can see how it can be empowering and also disempowering. So honestly, I feel like it's a personal choice. I don't think that it's a blanket statement, to be honest. From what I know and what we've heard, I don't think that it's
it's a personal preference.
Maybe you have to ask a person how they prefer to be referred to, because I don't think there's a blanket statement that's offensive or no longer politically correct or something. I think it's a preference rather. Some people might be triggered by something, but I mean, like, I also have ADHD, and I just consider myself, a person with ADHD. I don't know. I feel disempowered leading with a disability. Not to say I don't love all parts of myself, but I don't want to. I feel uncomfortable leading with that because that is at the forefront of my mind all the time.
Yeah, when that's not how you think of yourself.
Yeah. I think it's like what we said before. Different strokes for different folks, but we really appreciate this open dialogue. Yeah. And hopefully I'm mostly the one talking, but hopefully you all know that, like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful by any means or disregard anyone's feelings. Like, we don't want to be ableist by any means.
Of course,
want to be informed. We're trying to collect all the data.
Love being informed here at Web Crawlers. Just love soaking in all your information.
We're scientists. Yeah,
we're scientists. Okay, next message.
Hi. Oh, fuck. This message is from Web Crawlers. I'm just now realizing that I am definitely calling from Prague, and this is going to cost me a fuck ton. And I should have just I'll make it quick. I'm just listening to the latest mailbag episode, and you all are talking about the, like, holistic medicine with Lyme's disease and everything. And it just reminded me, so my boyfriend used to work for this company called LifeWorks in Florida. It was like, I guess like an alternative medicine. That's what it was, like, marketed to him as, at least when he was applying to the job. Place where they would give, like, different therapies and stuff. And a lot of the clients were people with Lyme's disease and cancer as well. All they would do was basically, prescribe, or not even prescribe, just give them a bunch of supplements, like vitamins. And the main therapy that they would use was literally using a vibrator, like a sex toy, on the people. I don't know, like, what the thought process behind it was, but they would always go missing, the vibrators that they would use for obvious reasons. And, like, once a week, my boyfriend would just have to leave work and go to a sex store to just get, like, new vibrators for this. And they were charging, like, thousands and thousands of dollars for these different therapies.
What?
And I was, like, talking to him about it, and I'm like, man, this is so weird. Like, what is this? And then we started researching the company, and the whole thing is run by Scientologists.
Oh,
and they would have, like, all these, like, high-profile clients. Like, Tom Cruise's wife would come there, and anytime that they had, like,
Which
one of
one?
these so-called high-profile clients, no one was allowed to leave their office. Like, they literally would lock them in their individual offices and not allow them to come out.
What?
And what else? Oh, and also, like, when someone got fired, they would just, you were not allowed to ask, like, oh, where
Kill
did this person go? Like, oh, where's Sally? They've been working here for years.
Classic
Like, you could
Scientology.
not bring up their name. Like, they just were one day there and the next day gone. Weirdest place, definitely a scam. But just wanted to call and say that. Okay, love you guys. Bye.
What? LifeWorks in Florida. What the hell?
I'm on the website. Are we all on the
Yeah.
website? Because
Yeah.
scroll down and look at the owner, founder, Dr. David Minkoff. Looks terrifying. He looks like a lizard person.
Here's the Yelp page. Alternative medicine. Yeah, I bet. Is it in Clearwater? Yes, it is in Clearwater. Anything that's in Clearwater. Got to be weary of Scientology.
Uh-oh. Okay, what's this? I think I might have found the vibrator one.
No. Beware, scam alert. I spent $500 to meet with a doctor. I had digestion issues. I was desperate for answers. The doctor used a device that is not medically approved or recognized for diagnosing diseases. However, using fear tactics, he proceeded to diagnose me with multiple serious life-threatening diseases, followed by a high-pressure sales pitch for over $14,000 in drips and their vitamins. Since then, I went to a legitimate doctor and found that I do not have any of the diseases this clinic diagnosed me with. My doctor literally told me this should be a crime. It's fear-based clinic preying on desperate people. I caution you to use your common sense and see a legitimate doctor. This is from 2 years ago. Damn.
This is crazy. Because when they talk about like how they're going to fix things, they like don't go into detail about what they're going to do. So like I'm curious as where the vibrator comes in.
Wait, this is Mary Pat telling me the ozone inserted into my vagina can cure my endometriosis. I wonder if that's what they were doing.
Oh, for
Ew.
sure. Yeah, that's what it is. Because I was looking for vagina things. And there was one where they said that they inject you with stuff.
Damn, this place is gross.
I mean, he claims that he's able to cure anything, which is crazy.
No. No.
Menstrual problems. Let's see. He's like, I will finger bang your period cramps
Finger
away.
bang your cramps away. Oh no, a lot of bad reviews.
Wow. So don't go to LifeWorks Center in Florida.
Oh no, my wife, Lori, passed away.
My wife.
Passed away after a battle with pancreatic cancer. I'm writing on behalf of my wife.
Awkward.
My wife is being treated with the same treatment that Lyme disease patients were receiving. A lot of money was wasted. I'm concerned that they mix medicine in the back room. Is the person mixing chemicals properly trained to do this? The center has no clue how to treat pancreatic cancer. You should be honest about that and not just think about how much money they can make off an individual patient. My wife kept calling saying she was not feeling good every day, and they just stopped and started treatments like they had no idea what to do. I would not recommend this facility unless you just want to throw away $50,000.
Yikes.
I mean, these guys should be in jail.
Scientologists be scamming. I'll tell you that.
They be scamming.
Okay, next message.
Hi there. This message is for the web crawlers. I am calling because I wanted to call and I was looking for a reason, and then I was listening to the most recent voicemail, mailbag or whatever, talking about falling asleep to podcasts, and I would highly recommend against falling asleep to podcasts. I know that you guys want to get your numbers up, but even when I try to fall asleep to your podcast, I don't, because I'm always super interested. So that is like, oh, that's a good thing. Anyways, I had fallen asleep to a different podcast today and had the worst dream.
Oh no.
I had my AirPods in, and during my dream, I was continuously taking my AirPods out and still hearing the voice. And my mom was in my dream, and she was mad at me. Granted, I'm an adult, but I still care. And she was so upset, and I was just like trying to take my AirPods. I was like, I want to talk to her. I want to explain myself. I was listening to a murder podcast, and like I think in my dream she was mad at me because of that. And then I was trying to take my AirPods out. I took like 8 AirPods out until I finally woke up and realized. Anyways, don't know if that makes sense.
Sure.
You know, you guys choose yourself if you want to fall asleep to a podcast or not. But
Beware.
I love the web crawlers. I love you, Allie, Melissa, Maria. Thank you. I'm not saying my name because I always call him really drunk and embarrass myself. So, anonymous. Goodbye.
She does not recommend falling asleep.
She doesn't recommend it.
To
Doctor's
podcast.
orders.
Hi, this is a message for the web crawlers.
Hi.
Ooh, beautiful voice.
My name's Lauren. I'm calling from Neanderthal, terrible country, also known as Brisbane, Australia. Anyway, I'm listening to your latest mini episode, and I had to call to respond to the person about the Lyme disease scammer. And I have a feeling you'll get a few calls about this story, but in Australia, we have a very famous, well-known story about scammer, very dodgy New Age health guru, involves Munchausen, false cures. Apple is in the tech company, charity fraud, multiple deaths, like a huge court case. It has everything. Basically, one of Australia's first big Instagram influencers. Her name was Belle Gibson, and she claimed that she had multiple cancer diagnoses, and also claimed that she had cured herself and was managing the cancer with an organic vegetable diet.
What?
She became really big, had a huge influence on the cancer community here in Australia. And she put out a cookbook with the diet that cured cancer. A lot of people followed it. A lot of people died.
Oh, no.
And when Apple launched their watches in Australia, she got a deal where her wellness app was pre-programmed into the Apple watches, so everybody who bought one got it.
What? Oh my God, like
later
Bono.
came out that it was all a lie, and that she had been frauding charities. She'd made a ton of money, put a lot of people's health at risk, and the court case is very interesting. There's a lot of info on the internet out about it, and it's juicy. I feel like you should cover it. Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
So I think I found her name is Belle Gibson.
That name sounds
She's
familiar.
an Australian convicted scammer, pseudoscience advocate, author of the Whole Pantry mobile app. Yeah, she said she cured her cancer. And then in an interview, her claims of having multiple cancers had been fabricated, saying that none of it's true.
Whoa.
Dang.
Oh my
Back in 2015.
God.
Crazy. Oh, this...
I guess
this
there's a
Wikipedia
60
page
minutes
is-
on her.
Yeah, this Wikipedia page is long as hell. Interesting.
Yeah, we should do an episode on her. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, last message of the day.
Oh, it goes by so fast.
Hi, part 2 for the web crawlers. This is Warren from Australia again.
Hello,
And
down under.
I was so nervous doing that. My voice started shaking and I had to hang up. But I totally
Oh my
forgot
God.
to say that I love your show. I've been listening to you forever. I always look forward to your episodes. You're great. And also, that was the tip of the iceberg with the Belle Gibson story. So I didn't give it all away. There's more that has happened after the court case. And yeah, a lot of juicy details. Yeah, I love you guys. Bye.
Thank you for calling
We love
back.
you, and we love Down Under, where all the shrimp's on the
Down
barbie.
Under.
Crikey. Crikey with Crocodile Dundee, and Hugh Jackman. All right.
Nicole Kidman.
With Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman sharing some shrimp on the barbie with Crocodile Dundee.
Yes.
Oh, that sounded good at the end, no?
Yeah, it was great.
I think by the end I got it.
At the end you nailed it.
I did nail it by the end. I nailed it. You just got to get out of your own head, I think is what it is.
Just relax.
You got to get in flow state. All right. Well, I got to go work on my accent a little. I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
And I producer Maria.
Bye.
Bye.
An Erios original.
Powered by Acast.